Good day, everyone. This is King B with another video. So, in this video, I'm going to be talking about life and the change in life, society. Right? Um, I was watching the video last night, but a sister, good sister, my sister Queen, I know who I am. Shout out to you, Queen. And she made a real good, interesting video, and she was talking about time. And part of the video, she was discussing how people are on their phones and the effects of people being on their phones. And I agree with every word she spoke in her video, you know. So my opinions on the matter is this. You know what? I remember a time when everyone was outside. We was outside. We was outside. The adults would be in one area, listening to music, you know, doing what adults do, sipping on whatever they were sipping on. The teenagers be in one area, the smaller children, we was run around playing, and the girls playing double dutch, and the boys messing with the girls and get the girls to chase them, and you know what I mean. We playing sports, we playing stickball, handball, basketball, football, starting leagues, and one block will come and challenge another block, in the game of football or basketball, and we had competitions, block against block or neighborhood against neighborhood, and you know what I'm talking about. And we had fun, you know. My mother used to have us, my brother bring her grill downstairs and outside, and we'd be out there. My mother be out there grilling hot dogs and burgers, and whoever was hungry in the neighborhood, didn't matter who it was, got something to eat. And we had drinks. There was drinks out there, and just music, and there's a whole lot of fun, you know, playing skelsies in the middle of the street, tag, and all sorts of games. And even inside the house, we playing spades and different card games, Pokino. Probably most of you don't even know what I'm talking about. Don't know that game. I never heard of that game, Pokino. It was a board game, and you use the cards, almost like almost similar to bingo, but different, quite different. A fun game, but that's what we did, you know. We talked to each other, we spoke to each other face to face. You know what I'm saying? And if there was a problem, or an issue, we worked that out. Of course there was fights, but at the end of the day, mostly what would happen is at the end of the fight, we shook hands and went back right back into vibing. That's just how it was. Our memory was sharper. You know everybody's phone number by heart. All your family members, your friends, all you needed was some change for the payphone when you was outside, 10 cents, and then it went up to 15 cents, and then a quarter or whatever. You know, now most people probably can't even remember their own phone numbers. You know why? Because these phones, which are mini computers, do all the thinking for us now. You know? Now, years ago, before they said we only use 10% of our brains, imagine now. Everybody walking around with these phones and mini computers in our pockets, right? Everybody. And you want to know something, you just go on your phone and look it up. And now with AI, it's worse. People are not thinking anymore. How about when people are getting themselves hurt and injured, walking around on their phones? You know how many times or videos, how many videos out there right now, people walking somewhere and they're not paying attention. Next, they drop down in a hole or something. They get themselves injured or worse because they're not paying attention. You know, people driving. You know how many times I've been stuck behind somebody at a red light, the light turned green, and we just sitting there a while because the person on the phone. How many times I've seen people driving out there, and while they driving, they looking at their phones, trying to text or call, whatever whatever have you, or they watching the video on their phone. They're not even paying attention to the road. That's why there's so many accidents on the road now. It's like they can't be without that phone. I really do, and I do my best to put the phones down and my phone down and don't be on my phone. I mean, a lot, especially when I'm outside. When I'm out and about, getting some air or seeing what's going on, observing the sky and paying attention and looking at the signs, or even at night sometimes. And I like to leave the phone in the house when I go out. I don't even like taking the phone with me. I do sometimes, like if I have in my mind that I want to make a video, I want to record a video. That's really the only times I take my phone when I leave the house. But if I don't have it in my mind to make a video, to record a video, to record some content, I go out. I don't even take the phone with me. I leave the phone in the house, especially if I know I'm just going for a walk or going to the park or going to take care of some business, be right back. I leave the phone in the house. I don't even like having the phones with me. You know what I mean? I mean, that's just me. I make an effort to do that, because I don't want to rely on these phones. I enjoy sitting and thinking and thinking about life or working a problem out in my mind and using my brains. You know what I mean? Wondering or going old school, grabbing a pen and a pad and writing my thoughts down. You know, writing my thoughts down, working a issue out, a problem out, pen and paper. I still carry around and use a notebook and a pencil or a pen, because I like to write. I'm a writer. I write, poetry, whatever. Most of y'all don't know that about me, but y'all see something coming up from me soon. Believe me, I'm working on something. I'm working on stuff, some writings. But you know, um, and I think about CERN. And it's an interesting thing. You can't. They have scrubbed information online. There are topics that I've researched in the past and even done videos. Like I've done a video on CERN before, one of my older videos. But there's information that I personally research, um, um, you know, before, and I go back and look. The information is scrubbed. The information is gone. They erased it. And CERN is one of them because I researched before and found out that they got a couple of CERN locations here in the U.S. Right? One they're supposed to be building one in Texas, and one in New York, um, right along Long Island somewhere, off Long Island. I did that research. It's gone. It's gone. That information, you can't find that information online anymore, right? But let's talk about CERN for a minute, right? They use they've been opening up portals, you know, um, years ago when they came out and said they discovered the God particle, right? They've been smashing atoms against each other to study where the energy goes, right? Opening up portals, trying to get to access other realms of reality or dimensions. This is what they have been doing, you know, and just on another level, um, CERN is nothing more than an artificial womb. That's what it is. The original portal is a woman, the womb of a woman. Okay, if you don't know, and that's what they're copying, the womb of a woman. That's what it is. And those of you who know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about, right? But yeah, we live in some strange time. I remember back in the day, the sun had that yellowish golden color to it. That golden color, the golden rays of the sun. Now it's white. And if you stare at it long enough, it's got like an electric blue color to it. You stare at it long enough, For those of you out there who stargaze, who can look at the sun like I can, you know. And then what about the object right behind the sun? You know, there's another sun like object behind the sun. You know, um, I remember one particular day. This to show you how people don't pay attention. I remember one day being at the store. I was at the store and I'm standing outside the vehicle, and I look up. I see the sun, and I'm telling myself, I said, "Boy, the sun looked weird today because this sun was sitting on a cloud right beneath it, and it had a short horizontal rainbow going right in between the sun." And I said, "That's odd." So the building was in my way, so I step out, to get a wider view, and the the sun, the real sun, was right next to this other sun I was looking at with the rainbow going through it. And I'm pointing I'm pointing and trying to get people attention, and nobody's paying attention to me. People's going on about their business, going inside the store, and going to get gas, or going to the that red box machine people used to go to get videos, whatever have you. Nobody's paying attention to me, and I'm pointing. Look, look, look. It's like it was like it was just I was surrounded by a bunch of zombies. Nobody's paying attention to anything anymore. You know, and that's they say you hear people talk about NPCs. Stand for non-playable characters. They call them NPCs. And maybe there's some truth to that. Maybe there's some truth to that. But I do know that that day, and there's plenty other times where I've spotted something and was trying to get people attention, and they don't even pay attention. Like they couldn't even hear me. You know, they couldn't even hear me. You know, but that's my thoughts on all of that. That's my thoughts on that subject. But yeah, I agree with my sister. You know, she was on point with everything she said. Go check her channel. I'm gonna leave a link to her channel in the description. Check her video out and subscribe to her channel. She give real good information, speak nothing but the truth, and a sister can throw down in the kitchen. All right, so check her channel out. But love yourself unconditionally. Keep your loved ones close. Protect the babies, the little ones, the young men, the young women, the elderly. Look out and check on your people constantly. Let them know you love them while they still here. Don't wait till somebody pass on, they no longer here, and now you want to cry, shed tears, and say how much you love them. Let them know now while they still here, right? And men, we got to stand together, band together for what's right and righteousness to protect our households, our community, communicate with each other, and keep ourselves and our loved ones safe. That's our responsibility. No one else's. We got to stop looking for someone else to come in and do our job for. That's our job. Peace and prosperity to you all. To the next video. Peace.